Okay, coming right back with the next video. So, in the last video, and I'll put some good coder generate for reg array. I'll put my comment thing in here, so if we want to look at this later, print 20 random print. Let's say just print reg. All right. And now what I might want to do is, well, I could do my first search, my first sorting algorithm. Or not my first sorting, I'll do my first searching one. I can do something like search, this is called a linear search. And what I want to do here is look through, so linear search just means that we're going to go through all of the array spots, check, we're going to put in a number, and we're going to go through, and we'll find if the number is there or not. We'll start with the first one, first spot, second spot, third spot, fourth spot, fifth spot. It's a very slow search because we obviously have to search, we could be very lucky and get the number right away, or the number could be at the end and it takes a very long time to get there. So linear search is good and bad. It can take a while to search. But so I mean, what we want to do is, well, let's take I'm just going to import so I can get scanner as well, and I'll put the scanner up here. So scanner just so I can get some user input. Scanner reader, and again, scanner could be any name in there. But we're going to take system input. Okay, so linear search in here. So we're going to take this input, and then so let's get some input from the user. System out print. Let's say, what number do you want? What number are you looking for? Okay. So and then we need to save that number somewhere. So int num, kind of boring, but okay. And then we'll do next, and we'll take that integer from the user. And then we want to do, okay, so now we've taken our number, so we've generated our random values, and you know what, I'm actually going to fill this thing up. I'm going to do 100 values. And let's do 50, and we'll do 100, and then we'll do 100. And you know what, in here, I want to print this all kind of on one line. Because then if we're going to print 100 numbers in here, oops, if we're putting 100, yeah, go ahead. If we're printing 100 numbers, it's going to take up the entire screen. So I'm just going to print, I'm still print them, but I'll do a little kind of in one line here. And then we'll say what number are you looking for, and yeah, we'll take the input from the user, and then what we need to do is go through, and we're going to check through the array and see kind of where's the number in here. And we probably need to do two things. We need to check to see if the number's in there. If it's not in there, then we need to stop the code. And yeah, so we should probably because then we need to run through the whole list of the whole array, and we should find our number in here because there's only 50 random numbers, and there's 100 in here, so more than likely we'll find our number in there. Actually, you know what? Let's make this even so we can code that part later. So we're going to make only 20 random integers, so it's almost guaranteed that it's going to be in there. I don't know. We could probably do the probability on that and figure that out. But anyways, we're going to try and look through here and see if we can find the number. So let's take a look in here. We're going to do for int index equal to 0. And now we want to look through, we're going to look through the actual length of the array. So let's go to reg length. And remember, we want to do less than because the length of the array is going to be the number of things in there, but the index values are going to be one less than that because the counting starts at 1, the index starts at 0. So there's that kind of one gap there. All right, so let's just run this. Oh, and then we need to do index plus plus. And then in here, so basically what we're going to do is just look through every value, and we're going to say if so basically we're going to take reg, and we're going to find the index value of that. If that index value is equal to num, then, and I can just do this all in one line, system out. You can do it on a separate line, do the curly brackets, but your number is at, and then we should just give the index. So if we run through this, we're going to take in a value. We're going to look through the whole array here, starting at 0, going to the end. If the We're going to check through each value. So as we're running through this loop, we're checking each index location to see if it's equal to the number we entered earlier. If it is, then we'll enter your number is at index zeros, whatever the index location was. So let's take a run at this. And let's see how this does. Oh, and then we put in a number. Oh, and actually we already have the numbers already printed. So it's a little bit cheating to do this. I'm just going to blindly look. I'm going to say, what's the number goes up to 25? So I'm going to say 18. Yeah, so these are all the locations of the number 18. It's index 14, 20, 41. So that's how we would do that. There's a couple things we could do better in here. We could go through and set it so, like, if the number's not in there, it's going to give a different value. Like here, we were pretty much guaranteed because there were 20 numbers, and we're only selecting from 20 numbers. We're filling up 100 spots, so it seems really unlikely that that it wouldn't be in there. But we should probably have some sort of code to say, listen, your number's not there. And we'd have to kind of do a little bit of coding for that. I'm thinking about how we would do that. Probably some booleans in there to make that work. Other things we could do. Oh, what else is I gonna? I mean, there's a lot of things that we could do in here. This was like finding a value, which is part of our work. I could also find like, what's the most common value? That could be an interesting one to try and do. These things where we're gonna find the max and the minimum and all that stuff. But I thought this would be a good place to start. Searching through this. Again, the problem with this is that it's going to look through every single one spot. So if our list gets to be very long, right, it's going to take longer and longer to do this. So a lot of times what we want to do is to actually sort the array first before we actually go through and try and do our search. Because I think even this is kind of stalling out. Well, Replit only gives us so much CPU runtime, so yeah, 1,000 numbers. It just takes a little bit longer to generate those values, and we'll do that. We'll do 17. Oops, got an error there. Anyways, but I mean, I think we could see how this is not super efficient. There's definitely a more efficient way to do this, but that's for a later video. Actually, for a video already posted.